Don't you miss the sweet slumbers you fell into as a child? Neend app helps you recreate that magic with well crafted exclusive sleep stories, guided meditations, and calming music to lull you into the restful sleep you need. Our offerings are all ad free, approved by experts, and have helped more than 90% of our listeners fall asleep as quick as within 15 minutes after tuning into our app. Download the app for more sleeping aids and subscribe to the channel.
Tiny Drops of Magic. Hi, I am Shruti. Good evening, friends. This evening is special. This evening is magical. And today, I will take you on a magical and aromatic journey with a girl called Mehak. Do you love perfumes? Yes? There are thousands of varieties of perfumes available in the market. No one on this earth is alike, nor is our sense of smell. Some of you may like the smell of first raindrops on soil, or some of you may love the heavenly smell of roses, chamomiles, or jasmines. Some of you may love the woody fragrances of sandalwood, and some will prefer rosemary or sage. Some will simply get attracted to the fruity smell of oranges, strawberries, limes, or lemons. When every one of us is different, then how will the choices of our perfumes be the same? And what if your perfume bottles are magical? In today's story, Tiny Drops of Magic, which is written by Sharmishtha Saha, I will take you to a world of heavenly perfumes where you will be surrounded with enchanting aromas, a pinch of nostalgic childhood memories, and you will come to know the real meaning of magic. Soon, you will find yourself in a new world of happiness and peace. Before that, make yourself comfortable in your favorite position for falling asleep. Switch off all the lights and close your eyes. Take a slow, full, deep breath and let go. It's time to set the world aside. Let go of your day and begin your gentle transition into sleep. Take another slow, full, deep breath and breathe out any tension in your body. All there is to do now is relax, rest, and be restored. You are in bed now, feeling your body relax from the day. Beginning with your feet, allow all the tension to go out of them now. They have worked very hard for you all day and deserve a rest. And so, the relaxation in your feet begins to find its way into your ankles, your calves, and your knees. And now, relax your upper legs and hips and feel this relaxation flowing up onto your abdomen and lower back, and your upper back and chest. Feel this peaceful, relaxing feeling flowing down your arms, into your hands, and out your fingertips. And then up into your neck, head, and face. Now your whole body is perfectly calm, relaxed, and ready for sleep. Soon you'll be sound asleep, off on a peaceful journey into a dreamland that will carry you through until morning. So, as you continue to listen to the story, begin to follow your breath. Relax your entire body and settle in for a wonderful sleep experience. Let's begin the story. The taxi stopped at a halt in the crowded streets of Delhi. Mehak is looking all around to compare the present scenario from the memories of her past. The afternoon is still very young and glowing with all its fervor. The sun is gently moving to the western sky. Mehak steps out from the taxi and is now standing silent to observe the dull afternoon crowd in the street. A few of them are gazing at her with curious eyes, but most of them are busy with their activities. The number of shops in this area has tremendously increased in the last 15 years when Mehak was a 10-year-old little girl. There, a little right used to be Nizam Chacha's biryani shop. And besides that, there was a small flower stall which has now modernized itself and has become a big and beautiful flower shop with glowing signboards. Beside the flower shop was a bookstall where you can get old used books at very low prices. This stall was the favorite hangout spot for Mehak and her father. Now it's gone. That place is now occupied by a beauty salon. And there, on the left, was a club where people gathered in the evening to play carom, chess, cards, etc. A Chinese restaurant has now replaced that club too. Its traditionally decorated infrastructure is undoubtedly amazing, and a fortune cat statue keeps on waving to attract customers to their shop from the display window. A little further was a tailor shop where Mehak often visited with her mother, and the tailor used to stitch pretty clothes for them. Beside the tailor shop is a photo studio, which is still standing with pride. But the tailor shop is replaced by a garment store now. The shops were scattered here and there, but now they are in plenty, almost loaded one over the other. The ice cream cart is still there, surrounded by lots of cheerful faces. Soon, the chaatwala will come with the vanishing sunlight and put his cart under the lamppost. Mehak still remembers those chilly winter days when she came with her parents and grandparents to have Daulat ki chaat. Daulat ki chaat is a piece of heaven. This is a dessert made of milk. It melts the moment you put it in your mouth. It looks like a cloud, fluffy and soft. An aroma wrapped with nostalgia tickles Mehak's senses. A smile gathers upon her lips. This familiar smell from her childhood is coming from the corner of the street, the jalebi wala. He and his shop have not changed at all in these 15 years. The dripping, sugary syrup from the spiral jalebis will take you to another world. And not to forget his samosas with spicy potato stuffing, the mouth-watering kachoris, and cardamom tea are a soul-satisfying combination. But the purpose of revisiting this memory lane is something else. Mehak has come for an heirloom. Just 10 steps away from where she is standing now, at the center of the market, is a perfume shop of her grandmother, Mehak-e-Hind. She is the successor of the century-old shop. This perfume shop is not only just a shop. It's a bundle of memories wrapped with colorful ribbons of love, happiness, trust, and magic. Yes, magic. Mehak was always curious about those tiny glass bottles of perfumes her grandmother prepared and stored. She has always noticed something very strange happening in the shop. Whoever came with long faces left the shop with broad smiles. Some magic was poured into these bottles along with perfumes. Even if she has grown up now, she strongly believes in this magic. Mehak is slowly walking towards the shop. She remembers two essences used to be very popular in the street. One, the jalebi walas, and the other, these enchanting perfumes. The smell is still intact in the air, as splendid as ever. Mehak has come from London to join her grandmother in their family business for two reasons. One, she wants to help her grandmother in expanding her business with her innovative ideas. And secondly, she wants to find out about the magic potion that her grandmother mixes with perfumes. Mehak's grandmother is an excellent perfumer. She is so skilled that within a few minutes, she prepares bottles according to people's preferences, choices, and moods. People from different states and cities visit this place. When Mehak enters the shop, she finds Grandma standing with open arms to hug her tightly and shower all her love and blessings upon her. A mixed fragrance of scents, ethanol, and alcohol filled her heart with joy of her childhood days. As the sunlight is fading quickly, Grandmother and Mehak decide to visit the shop again the next morning. The lampposts are turning on one by one. The crowd has now changed its color from dull grey to bright fluorescent yellow. The sound of the bells can be heard from a distant temple. Both of them stop by the jalebi stall for evening tea and snacks. Few familiar faces come to greet Mehak, and she is astonished and glad for their affinity. The sun is smiling like an infant. The brightness has not yet matured. The cool and soft breeze is blowing in the rhythm of the chirping birds and blooming buds. But the breeze has some moist fragrance too. Mehak gets down from her bed and goes near the window. Yes, she is right. The soil is wet. It might have rained last night. Suddenly, her eyes go to the garden where she sees her grandmother busy with the rose bushes. Mehak enters the farm where she sees her grandmother plucking wet roses from the bushes and keeping them carefully in a bamboo basket with a lid. Grandmother calls Mehak and says that extracting scent is much more effective from rain-wet rose oils than the plain rose oils. That's a very fine difference, but perfumers are very particular about that. Grandmother's farm is no less than paradise. There's a massive collection of flowers like rose, jasmine, plumeria, mimosa, scented geranium, many varieties of orchids, including vanilla. Not only this, there are leafy plants like lavender, sage, rosemary, fruit plants like apples, strawberries, juniper berries, oranges, limes, and lemons. The list doesn't end here. You can find carrots, coriander, and nutmeg too on her farm. There's a magical fragrance always abiding in the air of this place. It's truly satisfying and fantastic. You can simply wander on this farm and let your soul go free floating with the invisible scent particles in the air. And when you close your eyes, you feel the divinity of this place flowing in your body and the mixed fragrance of all the flowers and plants getting soaked in through every pore, making you more alive and contented. On the first day of her work, grandmother gave Mehak a few journals to go through regarding the preparation of authentic perfumes. The journals are so old that a few pages are tearing apart and the letters are fading away. There are lots of interesting things written on it, but there is no sign of any secret formula of magic mentioned in any of those journals. Mehak has read somewhere that the precise formula of perfumes are kept secret. Grandma loves her work. A great deal of dedication and perfection can be seen in her works. The world of perfumes is vast. You need to sink deep down to bring out a masterpiece. Mehak's grandmother says perfume is described in a musical metaphor having 3 notes: head note, the heart note, and bass note. Each note requires a balance of the correct proportion of ingredients. Otherwise, the fragrance will be like a tuneless song. Grandma's favorite place in the laboratory is at the back of the shop. The racks are full of test tubes, beakers, and thousands of tiny glass bottles. Some large glass jars filled with ethanol and barrels of water are also there. A separate cabinet is stuffed with pretty-looking bottles full of some oils. These bottles are labeled very precisely, naming floral notes, fresh notes, oriental notes, and woody notes. Even a whole day is not enough to test all the bottles. Mehak comes out from the laboratory and finds her grandmother busy with someone. A lady in her 40s is looking vulnerable. She is saying something in distress. Grandmother brings out a tiny bottle and applies a few drops behind her ears and a few at the inside of her wrists. And the magic happens. The lady closes her eyes for a few seconds, and a satisfying smile appears all over her face, like the fresh sun rays after a heavy downpour. She is a completely new person now. She is revived and rejoiced. She wishes to buy 2 bottles of that perfume. Mehak finally gets the chance to show her talent. She perfectly carves the lady's name on the bottle. The lady is overjoyed and leaves the shop with a heart full of happiness and liveliness. Such is the magic of perfumes. A few moments later, a man enters the shop with a pinch of rage in his tone. Mehak notices that grandmother is as cool as the fragrance of lavender. This man is complaining about the perfume's longevity, that it doesn't last long after wearing it. Grandma has a solution for every problem. Grandma explains to him that a fragrance is released in different intensities depending on many factors, like the time of the day. The wearer's physiology also affects the perception of the fragrance, dryness of the wearer's skin, etc. She applies a mixed fragrance of woody and floral on his wrists, and the man closes his eyes and inhales the fragrance with all his heart. Now it's time for magic again. The man is walking out of the shop, all happy and content. The man visits their shop once again later in the evening with a packet full of jalebis in his hand. He is smiling like a baby. He is fully satisfied now that this time the longevity of the perfume he is wearing is more than perfect. His friends and close ones appreciated the fragrance a lot, and everyone noticed him, all because of the enchanting fragrance. The trail of scent the man leaves behind is truly magical. A week passed, but Mehak couldn't find the magic pixie dust anywhere in the shop. Mehak never stops wondering how her grandmother manages to heal every visitor who comes at her doorstep distressed and depressed. She applies those magical drops on them, and they are stress-free forever. They are born once again with a new life full of joy and satisfaction. Happiness is visible in every pore of their body. Today is a hot April morning. The sun is in full power and throwing hot tantrums on earth. Unexpectedly, the shop is full of too many customers today. Grandma is calmly and patiently handling everyone with her magical bottles, and Mehak is busy carving names of the customers on the bottles with perfection. It's truly a blessing to see happy customers. It gives immense satisfaction when you give others a reason to smile. Mehak is feeling the same pleasure inside. It's almost evening now. The twilight rays coming through the window have created a colorful pattern of various hues. There's blue, pink, golden, mauve, green, and pastel. The rush has impeded a little. Mehak and her grandma are taking deep sighs of relief at last. Mehak is fully exhausted. She is resting with her head on the display table. Grandma is running her fingers through her hair and caressing her with love. Suddenly, Grandma ran to the laboratory. Mehak is wondering how her grandma is so active. How is she so full of life all the time? Doesn't she get tired? The answer to all these questions is perhaps that pixie dust that Grandma has hidden somewhere. Grandma is coming out from the laboratory with a tiny bottle in her hand. Mehak is so tired that she is having an illusion. In place of her grandma, she is looking at a fairy slowly walking towards her with a magic wand in her hand. Grandma knocks her on her shoulder and Mehak regains her senses. She is grinning at her silly thoughts now. Grandma applied a few drops behind Mehak's ears, a few at the nape of her neck, and a few at the insides of her wrists, elbows, and knees. And she asks Mehak to close her eyes for a few seconds. Mehak is spellbound with the scent and its effect. It's purely magical. She can feel every pore of her body opening up to divinity. She can feel her soul floating like a bubble in the air. She is feeling light like a feather. The fading sun rays falling on her face have spread a calm and soft glow all around her. Mehak is slowly opening her eyes. Grandma is sitting beside her and smiling. Mehak can't believe what just happened to her. What kind of magic is it? She was traveling to a completely new world of peace and liveliness. She is feeling so much better, revived, and rejoiced. The jolly night has returned with full tempo on the street outside. Grandma is locking the shop. The taxi is standing at the doorstep. The breeze is much cooler now. Mehak is leaning with her head on the window to grasp some fresh air. When she asked her grandma about the contents of the bottle and how the fatigue vanished so quickly, Grandma's answer was simple. She said that she mixed a few drops of jasmine, vanilla, clary sage, rose geranium, and finally a touch of peppermint. This marvelous mixture of so many amazing ingredients, when put together in a bottle, evokes its magical powers. And when a few drops of magic is applied to someone's pulse points, the pulse points warm up the perfume and release a fragrance that rejuvenates and soothes the soul. Mehak got her answer. She found the pixie dust at last. On her way back home, Mehak concluded, her grandma's secret behind her magic is her calm and soothing nature, her hard work and dedication, her love and sincerity for her work, her art of perfection, and her skill in perfumery. Her magic wand is her touch of kindness, her patience, her beautiful mind, and a clean soul. Along with the magic ingredients which she grows on her farm, when she mixes her serving attitude, generosity, selfless love, equality for all, and her unbiased service, magic happens. Those who say magic does not exist should come and visit Mehak and her grandmother's perfume shop. They will not only indulge in a paradise of magical scents, but they will also feel the healing touch in every drop of perfume, which will refresh them, mend them, revive them, and calm down their souls. There will be a world of fragrances to choose from. There are roses, jasmines, amber, sandalwood, rosewood, honeycomb, sage, rosemary oranges, vanilla, lemons, and many more. When you trust the magician inside you, magic happens. Mehak is in harmony now. She is eagerly waiting for the next morning to open the doors of Mehak-e-Hind to the entire world by winning everyone's hearts and spreading happiness and peace of mind.